Recently, a new form of communication called symbolic communication has appeared on planet Earth. Symbolic communication is how the universe as a whole speaks to us. Coming to understand this language of the universe will activate deep reservoirs of well-being within you. It will connect you to a reliable source of meaning and purpose in your life that you can draw upon in these uncertain times. I'm Brian Thomas Swim with the Human Energy Project. Our films are investigating the way in which we are building a nervous system for a planetary organism called the Noosphere. As we come to deepen our understanding of the Noosphere, we discover a collective purpose and meaning that can help us address our global challenges. The Noosphere rises with 8 different conditions, one of which is communication. In this film, we talk about a new form of communication emerging in the Paleolithic, which enabled the Noosphere to come forth in the early era of humanity. Various forms of communication have evolved over time, and the most recent of all is symbolic communication, which humans invented. In terms of cosmic time, this is an extremely recent event. If we imagine the universe's evolution taking place over a single year, symbolic communication does not appear until the very last fraction of a second. That is to say, the universe required 99.99% of its existence to bring forth this new power. Before the complexity of the symbol, there were more elementary forms of communication. For instance, the construction of galaxies was initiated by communication, a communication taking place at the quantum level. Atoms sent out particles called gravitons, which announced to the world, "I have mass." These so-called messenger particles activated gravitational attraction between the atoms, which led to the construction of the galaxies. With life, we find a qualitative advance in communication. When a living organism receives an important message, it changes its form. For instance, scientists at the University of British Columbia have discovered that when a tree is being attacked by insects, it communicates with nearby trees by sending molecular signals down its roots and out the fungal networks which connect to nearby trees. The messages they send say, in effect, "I am being eaten by caterpillars. Protect yourself." On the basis of this communication, the tree that receives the message starts to construct toxic chemicals which it sends out to its leaves. Any caterpillars who try to munch on this tree are immediately repulsed. This form of signaling is widespread in the life world. For instance, when a chimpanzee spots a predator, it will give out a particular hoot sound, a signal that indicates a leopard is nearby. Humans employed these forms of signaling, but they began to do something more. Humans began to communicate with each other about things that are not present. Precisely there is the power and novelty of symbolic language. With a symbol, humans are no longer constrained to one time and place. It is this ability to move outside of local time and space that enables humans to conceive of greater contexts, even of the universe as a whole. Consider the radiation of photons called the cosmic microwave background. These photons are particles of light that have been showering Earth for billions of years. They showered the dinosaurs. They showered the first forests. They showered the chimpanzees, and then along came humans. Using minds that had been developed over hundreds of millennia, humans learned to hear the story these particles of light were telling. The story of how the universe as a whole came out of a seed, and how the expansion of the universe enabled stars to emerge. On the one hand, these photons were nothing more than little particles of light, but on the other, through our human consciousness, these particles of light became symbols in which we could hear the universe's narrative of its immense creativity. Our short films concerning the Noosphere are symbols the universe is speaking. The conditions we present concerning humanity's development, such as technology, cerebralization, trade, these are facts of human history, but they are more than that. They are symbols that contain within them the epic story of developing a planetary mind. Our destinies, our meanings, both as individuals and communities, are deeply woven into this cosmic conversation. What could be more important to know?